That's policy on drug enforcement for America, like the Texas Attorney General sets policy for all law enforcement. His job is to set it for the United States. Well, in Seattle, marijuana is decriminalized under that chief. They also have a needle exchange program. His first public speech he gave, double-talked some. The headlines were, this is 3 weeks ago, that we need to end this war on drugs. That it's a war on the people, not a product. And that the Obama administration would be leaning heavily toward treatment instead of incarceration. A couple paragraphs down, they talked about still arresting people for it. So there's some double talk. But this administration is getting the people ready and used to the idea to end this drug war. Within 2 years, I believe, marijuana will be decriminalized in all 50 states. The drug war will phase out within 10 years. That's what I believe. President Obama also appointed his Attorney General. Now, he's the highest cop of the nation. He's a liberal guy. He's not white. And he's big on civil rights and the Constitution. In fact, the new Black Panther Party, there were 3 guys that got charged under the Bush administration for voter intimidation, because 3 of the new Black Panther Party were suspected of voter intimidation. Obama just exonerated them. He is making moves towards civil rights. Has he made the right call every time? Absolutely not. He'll tell you that himself. He says, I have a rotten deck of cards. Y'all gave me a game that already sucks. And I don't like making this decision. But at the time, it's the best I can do with what I've got. I wouldn't feel safe doing what I'm doing. I don't believe I would have a shot at Texas Attorney General if he weren't in office. He is changing the attitude of how things should be in America. In a sense. Any other questions?
With your stance on supporting people being able to sue law enforcement agencies for unlawful searches and seizures, would you support that same stance on people being able to sue district attorneys for trying people for income tax evasion for the IRS, since the word income is not defined in Title 26 of the United States Code, and they don't uphold any Supreme Court rulings on that subject whatsoever? So would you support people being able to sue district attorneys, judges, for putting people in prison for a tax law that's unjust and very loosely undefined, and that's unconstitutional, so that you can take that same stance on their insurance companies supporting the policies on those agencies?
He asked how I would treat somebody losing their freedom for not paying their income tax. I'm 3 years behind on my income tax right now.
Right.
Now, I'm going to pay it, because I know that's going to come up in the election. Well, my demographic are not the taxpayers. My demographic are the Libertarians. You got to squeeze money. I'll get my taxes paid. The question he asked, I'm going to ask this group of attorneys that's advising me. And if I can do the same thing to make sure somebody doesn't lose their freedom from taxes, I will do it. Because you're not supposed to go to jail for not paying your taxes. I don't have a problem if they want to levy whatever, but nobody should lose their freedom for that. Which brings up child non-support. That's out the door. That's a crazy system. It's sexist, and it's used to attack men in courts. And during the worst time of their life, it really is a big bully weapon against the men. And men shouldn't lose their freedom over that, neither should women. And I don't mind facing the women that are saying, well, what about my kids? What about my kids? I've got arguments for all that, why it's not fair to put somebody in jail because they owe money for child non-support and or taxes. Yes.
So I think it's Dallas now.
You're next.
They've got laws that if you have a kid, you're a homeschooler, you take your kid to the store during the school day, you're arrested.
If you're a homeschooler,
there's a curfew for kids now in Dallas. They
even
can't
if they're with a parent.
Right, even if they're the parent.
He said if you they've got a curfew now in Dallas, your kid can't be out past a certain time.
Between 9 and 3.
During the day. Listen, leave Dallas. I'm serious. Listen, we lived in East Texas. There are 243 churches in my one county. I'm not church hating. I love that there are different churches and people can go and have the freedom to do their thing. But, jeez. That's one of one of my biggest tips when I counsel these people on the phone that I was telling you that call and they're in this horrible situation. Every one of them say, I've been fighting this for 10 or 15 years. These cops just hate me. I'm saying, get the hell out of Dodge. Because you're not going to win. We fled to Austin with our family. As soon as I could get the money together and the plan, I took them to a safer place. So tell your friends if they're being harassed in certain precincts, or they need to move to a freer area of the United States. It's not worth your freedom to live somewhere where they're all crazy.
But do you think that something like that is some sort of pilot to see if it can be enforced throughout Texas? They're going to start in Dallas and then move to different states? Cities, sorry.
She asked if I thought that would be a model for other cities adopting. And you know, if voters vote that in, makes you wonder about the voters. I'll certainly give legal opinions away for this is America. If those kids want to be out, they should be able to be out. Not under fear of a cop arresting them. This thing's gone mad.
Yeah.
But we're fixing it. We're going to fix it. Yes, sir. He was next. I'm sorry.
The problem we had in Cherokee County when the police raided our building and locked me in jail, and my friend did, we tried to file criminal complaints directly to the grand jury, and the district attorney has control of the grand jury,
right,
and has denied the citizens' right and duty, by the way, to file criminal complaints against public servants. And I would suggest that when you become Attorney General, make a point of allowing the citizens to file complaints in each county against public officials and bar the district attorneys from blocking that.
Yeah, I'll do better than that. He explained that the district attorneys are not taking legitimate complaints from citizens to the grand jury. A grand jury is nothing anymore, folks. They can indict a ham sandwich now. It's nuts. They adopt the attitude of the prosecutor every time.
Yep.
That's right.
So he wondered how, I would try to fix that. Would I stop that process? I've got a better way to do it. And this is my recommendation to you, too. Going in and doing what you're talking about, I'm very familiar with that. People email that idea to me all the time, but it doesn't work. Nothing wrong with doing it, but if you want to do something that's not working right now. What works is sue them in federal court. Sue the judge. Candy and I sued a judge in family court. We were so horribly mistreated. Sued her, the county, the attorney that represented my ex-wife. Sued them all for $10 million. Cost us $350. Pro se pack, federal courthouse. Boom, cops. Everybody sued. It's in the newspaper, and they're like, what the hell? It's very easy to do. You can do it overnight. It takes an hour to fill the packet out. Well, we knew the Attorney General would get the judge recused, out of the lawsuit. But we knew we'd have to go back into that court again, right? And we had to go back into court just recently. We're still in a little family court deal. But guess what? That judge that had mistreated us so bad in court couldn't sit in judgment on us again because we had sued her. She had to recuse herself.